got to get music. Where's the music? Something back here. Music. Acoustic play. Oh, I got to get music. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live watch party of the Infinite Pathway. I'm AJ Kavanagh.
I'm Tom Workman. We are so glad you're here to watch with us. This is a great episode, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you.
We just noticed Glenda Fordham from Toronto has arrived in the house.
Hey,
Thank you
Glenda.
very much for joining us. We appreciate that. So we've got all sorts of things to offer for you today. We're going to be watching our episode Lighten Up, connecting with the light, because we all need to bring that energy forward for us.
That's right. So lots for us to talk about when we watch through that episode. So we're looking forward to hearing your reactions. Please feel free to chat all the way through the presentation. Any questions you have for us, any observations, any comments. We love this opportunity to have a live watch party with you, as virtual as it is, to be able to kind of chat with you throughout. So we look forward to hearing what you have to say and what your thoughts are as we go through the episode. AJ, what else do we want to share with peeps today?
Well, we have some exciting news, actually. Our new website, speakingfromsource.com, has been officially relaunched. And we have something very exciting to offer absolutely everyone today at the end of the watch party with the Q&As that we'll be doing as well.
You're going to like it.
You're absolutely going to like
tuned.
it. You're absolutely going to like it.
Stay through the hour, because this is actually a great gift for you all, we hope. We're excited about it, and we're excited about the relaunch. So with that.
Okay, I just got to get some more things going here. Oh, here we go. Share screen. That's exactly what I want to do.
All right.
Okay, great.
It's kind of like landing an airplane at O'Hare. There's an awful lot of controls involved.
It is. There's a lot to coordinate. But
and as usual, our cat Eclipse, who seems to know the second the guides are around, and comes in and starts making noise. So I think you're going to hear him in the background.
Eclipse jumping around a little bit.
At least while we're on mic, you'll hear him as well.
But we welcome you. We thank you so much. And let's get this party started.
All right.
Thomas Workman and A.J. Kavanagh are intuitive channels who have a remarkable ability to speak for a spiritual collective they call the Guides. They are unique in that they channel the Guides together, sharing one mind as they deliver messages. The primary interest of the Guides is helping us all live consistently in the state of joy, accomplished through a set of simple practices they call the Infinite Pathway. The Infinite Pathway, Journey to Self-Realization.
We are so grateful for this opportunity to be with you today, and we remind you of the frequency of sound and music, and we invite you to sing with us, to take time in your day to hum a song or to sing it out loud or to connect with the highest frequencies possible to enable your body to move, to skip, and to twirl, and to dance. Yes, we are saying lighten up, if you will, for there is the opportunity for you to do so. Dear ones, you are so loved. You are so deserving. You are such beautiful light that we see, and we so wish for you to have but a glimpse of the beauty of your own life.
Welcome to the Infinite Pathway Journey to Self-Realization. I'm Thomas Workman.
And I'm AJ Kavanagh. What a great way to start this episode, hearing that our spirit guides wish for us to see the beauty of our own lives the same way they do.
Yes, and hearing that we're deserving of the love of Source sure lightens me up.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody. If you're new to this series, Tom and myself discuss messages we've channeled from the guides to help us all get a clear understanding of them and apply them to our daily lives.
Now, even though we're not in trance or channeling during these episodes, the guides are close at hand and always make sure we're conveying exactly what they want us to.
In our last episode, we share how each of us are divine aspects of Source itself.
And you may have heard in many of the recordings of the guides that we shared last episode that they often use the word light as a way of describing our divinity. We're going to expand on that word today by looking at the concept of divine light.
Well, you know, as always, there's so much for us to unpack here. When we understand our ability to live in and reflect divine light, we realize our amazing power to also lighten up our environment. And indeed, when we do so, we light up the rest of the world as well.
That is exciting. There are a lot of things to dig into, so let's shine some light on light.
Let's do it. Recently, the guides responded to a question that I think many of us have had, and that is, what does it mean to be in the light? Now, here's how the guides responded.
You must understand light as being the presence of divinity. You must understand that divinity itself is expressed through light, and you as a human on this planet understand this, for you live in the contrast of light and darkness. And so what it is that you associate with light is associated, of course, with divine. An illumination, an ability to see, an ability to realize all that is around you, and even a sense of safety, for you feel safest in the light than in the darkness, where you are not sure what is around you and what is coming and what is going. And so we would say to you, without going too far into this as a metaphor, we would say that you can recognize the light as a reflection of divinity itself, an expression, if you will, of divinity.
You know, the spiritual reality of light and darkness really do follow our natural understanding of the physical phenomena.
Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? We inherently understand the idea of things being physically illuminated by light, and that we're meant to live in the light.
Yes. Now, the guides describe divine light as conscious energy that expands with every thought that is aligned with source. Here's what they shared at a different channel.
We are a part of a great flow of conscious energy, of conscious light, which is forever expanding with each and every thought and cognition. This feeds us and grows us as we expand into the universe and all that is. And we wish for you to understand that much of the same is true for yourself. With every conscious thought you contribute to the divine light of the universal source.
Well, it's not surprising that we understand divine light as an expression of source, but it is interesting that the guides describe light as source consciousness.
Yes. The guides teach that all universal energy has consciousness. In other words, divine light is not like a lamp or a light bulb that just generates brightness. It's actually illuminating specific aspects of source intentionally.
Wow.
It's actually beaming the pure positive energy and intelligence of source itself.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh, it sure is. You know, the light is a perfect analogy for the divine. The guides suggest that divinity shines as a light all over creation.
Well, another way that the guides define the light is through its relationship to darkness, with darkness serving as a contrast to the light.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, we often understand something by contrasting it with its opposite. Here's how the guides have made that important comparison.
We remind you that the darkness exists only in the absence of light, yet there is always a light to be found and to be expanded upon in the darkest of times. There is light and consciousness in each and every one of your circumstances, in each and every one of your thoughts. We remind you of the life that is constantly being expressed and created on your planet, from the smallest of organisms to the most complex. And we see the tremendous light that is in each and every one of those creations. And so this is where we remind you to place your focus here, for there is great wisdom for you to be within the light and to expand the light for yourself and others, and to see the light in yourself and others.
Now, there are a lot of things we associate with darkness, especially around consciousness. I think about the phrase being in the dark, about something that I'm not so sure of or not aware of at all.
Yeah, you know, that makes perfect sense. There's also the idea that recalling or remembering something is also like switching on a light. Your consciousness literally becomes illuminated. But there's another important point to realize from this latest audio from the guides, and that is that divine light is both for us and reflected by us. Now, we'll talk more about that second point in a minute, but let's just start with this idea that there is light for us to find absolutely everywhere. And when we do, there's great wisdom in that for us.
Yes, the divine light is something that is always around us and always available to us.
Yeah, that is a pretty profound thought, and one we often forget in those darker times. And, you know, the amazing thing is that we don't have to earn it, pay for it, become worthy of it. This light, we just simply need to freely step into it. Here's what the guides have said. Indeed, the sun always shines. The frequency of light is there for you to step into in its completeness and its entirety.
Okay, let's get practical. What exactly does it mean for us to step into the light?
Well, you know, we've already heard part of the answer already, that our thoughts themselves create divine light if they are aligned with the consciousness of Source. As we've discussed in the last episode, that means that our own thoughts reflect the character of the divine. When we focus on something of the attributes of appreciation, love, and compassion, there you are.
Well, this sounds almost cliche, but it's actually true. I've experienced this in my own life, and I'm sure you have too. The contrast of darkness is a great way to understand this concept.
Yeah, for sure. That is very true. And in fact, we often describe our thoughts as being dark when we focus on something like disappointment or frustration or revenge.
And there are plenty of those thoughts around us all the time. Let's listen to how the guides talk about this.
This begins, of course, by recognizing when you are sitting in darkness. This begins by recognizing your consciousness is what we speak of. When you become conscious that you are surrounded by more darkness, more contrast, more conflict than is necessary, and certainly is healthy for you spiritually, even physically. And then to make the choice, which is always yours, to change this exposure, to change this influence, to turn off the news perhaps, to step out into nature, which is always shining the light of the universe, the goodness of the universe, to allow yourself to move even from relationships that feel as if they are constantly focused in darkness. For you always have this choice. You always decide where you shall be so that you have a good view of the light.
Oh, I love this.
I do too. Now, I don't want to lose the idea of divine light as illumination, though. Being consciousness, the divine light is also how we see the reality of our thoughts and actions. Sometimes, even when it exposes things about us that we'd rather keep in the dark.
Yeah, very true. But as the guides have shared with us, we really don't need to feel wrong or guilty about anything that the light exposes, because Source always adores us unconditionally, exactly as we are. Let's listen to what they have to say.
We remind you as you step into the light of your own being to surrender to that feeling, to surrender to that wholeness and that protection. For we understand well that as light illuminates, it may illuminate things for you which you choose not to see. And yet we say to you, all is well. Simply surrender and acknowledge. No need to change, no need to judge, just simply surrender and acknowledge the divine being of who you are, the unconditional divine being of who you are, and turn the rest over to the divine.
So, what takes this out of the realm of cliche for me is that we always have a free choice about what we focus our attention on. There's always both aspects of divine light and darkness, or the absence of divinity, to choose from. The difference is that thoughts that reflect divine light actually serve us by improving our outlook, whereas thoughts that are absent of light usually just make us feel worse.
Yeah, they sure do. You know, have you noticed the more you focus on what's wrong, the more there seems to be for you to find what's wrong? The guides summed up this phenomenon really well when they said, all too often you surround yourself and see the dark clouds around you, which obscure the light. You begin to suppose that these things are not possible, when indeed the opposite is the case.
So, when we focus our thoughts on the divine, we experience the light of the divine, which lets us see things more clearly. But not just that. By focusing more on the light, it helps us see what is possible for us. The light helps us see in our situations or in our environment divine wisdom, which often lets us get new choices, which will serve us better. It's like the guides say. That's the answer. Being in the light means that the best solution to any specific situation is to return to the light itself.
The guides teach that we can and should rely on that light, as it's always there. I love this particular statement from the guides.
We say to you to let the light in, to let the light of consciousness in, to be the light of consciousness, to flip the switch, to turn on the current, to illuminate, to shine your light wherever you are and contribute to the energy of Gaia, the environment in which you find yourself in, no matter how you may consider it dark and bleak and hopeless, to know that you are of your own light, you are of your own divine connection, and you simply need extend your consciousness up into the consciousness grid to be purely of the light, to be of maximum benefit and effect.
This light, we hope you are seeing it. We hope you are recognizing your ability to remain within it. It is not far from you. You do not earn your place under light. You simply need to recognize it and above you, surrounding you. And we would say to you, you have many, many tangible recognition of light in your electric lights, in your sunshine, which comes so often to you here. And another reason for the energies here. And in all forms of light, in the light that lives again inside of you, as close to the light as possible, this is where you wish to be.
But there's another benefit to our walking in the light that the guides alluded to there. When we connect to divine light, we actually reflect divine light. We shine divine light ourselves, and it can be actually perceived by yourself and by others.
Exactly. Several years ago, the guides described the universe as a giant diamond with millions of facets. Now, if you know anything about diamonds, you know that what makes the brilliance of a diamond is the ability of each of the facets to reflect back its light and the light of each other. The more the facets, the more the light is reflected, and the more it enables the diamond's brilliance. But here's what's important. Notice that we don't actually see or focus on any individual facet when we look at a diamond. The guides have said that the beauty of the diamond is seen when all the facets shine together and are observed as one complete whole.
Wow, I just love that metaphor.
You too.
Imagine when we can see each of us as reflecting the light of Source together in oneness, and how different the human race would be.
Now that is exciting. And clearly, it's probably one of the reasons Source is teaching us all about light during these times of contrast.
Right. Let's listen to the guides as they share more about this.
What does this mean, being of light? We wish to give you clarity about this, for we have told you several times that when we see the essence of you, we see the light. And you are able to see this as well. The light that shines deep within the center of your being, your soul, if you were to call it that. It is the center of your being that is who you are. It is what you are. All else is built around this. This lives beyond this incarnation. This lives on throughout eternity. This never ends. And it is this light that we speak of. And so it is this light that the universe works around. It is not merely your incarnation, though that is certainly a piece, a part of the story, if you will.
Now, you and I, and probably most of our audience, have seen this in action. Someone we work with or we meet somewhere just beams a light that is undeniable. Of course, that light is powered by a high vibrational frequency. We can't shine our light when we're mired in lower vibrations. But there's a palpable feeling we get when we encounter someone whose light is shining brilliantly.
That is so true. You know, I've certainly experienced that, and I hope others have experienced that when they interact with me at one time or another. I've certainly seen that in many others.
Yes. So sometimes really we just need to realize it and trust it. I think of this statement from the guides. It's a great reminder. We see your light, and we wish to say this to you, for we are not sure you see your light as often as we wish for you to. But you have a beautiful light. How wonderful is that, huh? Wouldn't it be great if we just reminded each other all the time, you have a beautiful light?
Oh, yes. Imagine if someone said that to you and how that would make you feel.
Mm.
I welcome you, Tom, to remind me of that anytime.
Okay, you have a beautiful light.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And your light is one of the things that I appreciate about you most.
Mm.
That reminds me of the many times that the guides tell those we channel to that they are, in fact, beacons of light.
Mm.
When I think of a beacon, I think of a light that shines purposefully, much like a lighthouse to be of service. Here's one of the times they mention this.
And so we say to you, dear ones, we remind you of who you are and of your purpose as beacons of light, and to hold your attention strong to the notion of your being of light, of your sharing the light, of your returning to the light in as many instances, in as many moments as you shall find comfortable and enjoyable for you to participate.
All of you have this light. You cannot help but affect those that are around you. And so we would encourage you to make the choice. I shall affect those as positively as I can. I shall shine the light of compassion, and I shall shine the light of spirit, and share the joy that I know is possible.
I can't think of a better purpose for being.
Me either. One of my favorite songs by Annie Lennox is a cover called Shining Light, where she sings, "You are a force, you are a constant source. Yeah, you are a shining light, incandescent in the darkest of lights. Yeah, you light up my life."
Yeah, well, time, absolutely perfect.
Well, thank you.
Well, one last thing to say here. Your divine light is inextinguishable, but it may not always feel like it's shining as brightly as we wish. Here's what the guides recommend.
How do you then maintain your light? The answer is simple: by looking at the larger light that shines throughout the universe, the beam of light that sits in front of you should you meditate toward it. And it is always apparent for you and there for you to capture this larger light, this energy source that you plug into, that maintains your own light, that enables your light to reflect that light, for that is what your light is, a reflection, a piece. This is why we are able to call you divine, for you share the same light. And when you feel this light is dimming for whatever reason, we will tell you the reason is your preoccupation with the things that are around you that are not in the focus of the light. But we would say to you that instead the simple remedy is to focus back upon that great light and feel it recharge your own, and feel the reflection of that light. This is the simplest way we can share with you to maintain your energy at any time, in any circumstance.
The key, though, is our alignment with Source, which means the focus of our thoughts are aligned with those thoughts of Source.
I love that the guides teach that the light in us is eternal, not just something that we accomplish here on Earth, but actually part of our soul itself. Now, that makes a great I am statement to add to our list. I am divine light.
You've been practicing our I am affirmations from last week, haven't you?
I sure have. I think they're great.
Well, speaking of practices, do we have any practices that will help everyone to apply what we've learned today?
Of course we do. So let's get into our daily practices for the light. Here is the first. Let's call it the Lighten Up practice. Just as the guides have suggested, whenever we become aware that our light is starting to dim, just find a moment to get somewhere quiet. Your car with the ignition off, of course,
Mm.
maybe a spare bedroom or an office space, really anywhere that you can just be quiet and close your eyes. Then take a deep breath and let go of whatever it is that's got you preoccupied. Then tune into the divine light by pivoting your thoughts to any of the I am affirmations we've spoken about in our previous episodes. Take a breath, and after each one, let them really lift you.
You know, I did this just the other day.
Mhm.
While I was sitting in the dentist chair waiting for the oral hygienist to come in. I had so much to get done. It was the middle of the morning, the only time I could get the appointment. And here I was stuck at the dentist, feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. But by doing some breaths and affirmations, it really helped to lighten me up. Here were mine. I am able to get everything done. I am able to be here right now, and Source adores me. There's nothing I need to do that is more important than connect with Source right now. I was smiling by the time the oral hygienist got into the room.
Well done, Tom.
Mm.
You know, it's true that pivoting from worry or stress does take practice. It's easy for us to feel those feelings of stress and pressure and frustration, making those I am affirmations feel a little hollow or forced.
Yeah.
But, you know, many people find that once you make this more of a daily practice, your pivoting gets easier and it takes you less time to readjust your focus and raise your vibration. Eventually, you may find that all you need to do is just take a single breath to remember that Source has your back.
And you thought we were just doing all those breaths every episode for the show.
Nope. Every breath we take really helps ground us and focus us on so many levels.
Next, we recommend devoting time every week just to connecting with the divine.
Many of us have a meditation practice, but this is a little different.
Mm.
This time you spend just sitting in divine source energy, soaking in that light as if you were tanning on a beach.
Right. It doesn't matter what you do or how you do it, as long as you're able to focus completely on what the guides call communion. Now, please don't let any religious connotations of that term get in your way. What the guides mean here is a true blending of energies where we allow Source to fully integrate with us.
Right. And you know, I think that that was the intention behind Whitley Strieber when he called his book about his encounters with extraterrestrials communion as well.
Mm.
But I digress, as I often do. So, in finding a connection with divine source energy, some people go to their favorite place, such as an old high school, a park, or visiting a neighborhood they grew up in, while others favorite activity like painting or baking, which allows them to get lost in the vibration of Source. Tom and I use a specific musical mantra that is an hour long that we love to get lost in while we spend our time in the temple together.
Mm. It's my very favorite hour of the month. I call it Dancing with My Divine. I literally let my imagination go wild as Source and I dance in a magical chamber filled with white light.
Now, your time with the divine may not be as long or as elaborate, but the key here is that you find your own way to let go and allow your higher self to be fully devoted to spending time with the divine.
There's no right or wrong way to do this, so have fun experimenting and adapting. It took me a while to find what works for me, and AJ has developed his own process, even though we're sitting at the altar together.
Our last practice allows you to focus your beacon of light whenever you find it most needed.
It's a great practice to do when you've got that light shining most brightly. This also doesn't take long, really just a moment.
So when your attention is drawn to someone or something that you feel could use a little extra light, whether you're in their presence or not, consciously send that person or that situation some light. Now, this means intentionally sending them divine energy from Source consciousness, seeing the light surrounding them and providing the illumination, solutions, and love that Source already has for them.
Let's say, for example, you hear of a friend or a family member or acquaintance who has an illness or a physical condition. As you picture them in your mind's eye, see your light surrounding them and affirm their wholeness and their health.
Now, you can send that light to an entire town or a region if needed, such as an area facing war or a natural disaster or an economic depression. In fact, anything that needs some divine light. You can even send some divine light to animals, trees, or a body of water.
Don't believe for a minute that your focused thought is ineffective. Your thoughts are vibration. And like the guides say, they can't help but affect the vibration of everything you focus on.
Well, we sure hope the things that we've shared today from the guides help you realize the many benefits of letting the light of Source shine within you and, in fact, all around you, because it's always there for you to discover and to expand upon.
That's right. And others can see it and will see it. They'll notice it as well. Well, as always, we're grateful for having you here and are so grateful for you and the light that you shine.
Yes, indeed. We'll leave you with a sign off from the guides to encourage you, as we always like to do. But for now, we'll see you next time.
We see within you the beautiful light that emerges from you, and let us remind you of that light when you are unable to recognize it, when the burden of circumstances, and we have spoken of many today, when the burden of circumstances gets in the way of the truth of what and who you are. And this we wish above all else to remind you of, and to enable you to take the breath and to feel the divinity, to feel the light, for the reminder that it is always there. It is always present. It is always adoring you and is waiting for you to accept that adoration and take it in as your own. For in this is the expansion that is necessary for the entire universe. You, in doing so, is so much more than the pleasure it shall give you, the joy that shall emerge. It is a joy that resonates across the universe. And with this, we are complete.
Coming up in the next episode of The Infinite Pathway. For the latest messages from Thomas, AJ, and the guides, please join them on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or follow them on Instagram at Speaking From Source. You can also book your personal session with the guides on their website, speakingfromsource.com.
Wow, how about that?
You know, I have to say that it couldn't be better timing. I think a lot of people are feeling some darkness around them right now. We're hearing all kinds of strange new rules and policies and things, and none of them feel very bright. And so this is really an apt reminder for even for us, just to sort of remember, you know, there's still always light. I think this has been one of the most important things we've learned right after the election. One of the things that the guides said to us and have said to groups many times now is that it is impossible for anything in the universe to affect the light, to destroy the light. And boy, was that the important reminder, because it is easy to sometimes kind of feel like, you know, what is going on around us is robbing us of light. And we just have to redirect. You know, there was the comment that they made, the guides made, that's such a good reminder that where you put your attention is sort of where you live, right? And so there's this wonderful opportunity to put our attention on light rather than on darkness, which for a lot of us has meant, well, I'm going to stop watching all this news and all this commentary and all these you know how we get wrapped up with social media into all these arguments. What's wrong with this and what's wrong with that and what's wrong with everything else? And what the guides are saying is, no, just focus on light, right? In fact, someone was asking the guides about, what do I do when people are sharing these very strong political opinions? And the guide's response was, tell them how beautiful their shirt is, how much you love the color of their shirt. And the point was not necessarily about the shirt, But the point was, just change the subject, just focus back on light, because you don't have to fall into all the conversations about darkness that are around you. Those are those dark clouds they were talking about. And you just have to focus on the light in between them. So this has really been timely for me to really think about this again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. These are great reminders, and it may seem a little bit light or superficial, but when you realize that you are an aspect of divine source consciousness, you are made of the light, you are of the light, and you have an opportunity to bring that light from inside you and let it radiate out through you, even if it's just a smile or a breath or a little bit of compassion for someone, that motorist that cut you off. It may not be personal. It may be just something to do with them. So just let everything flow and let that light out for others to see. And that's how we change consciousness. That's how we make the ascension happen.
It's been great to read your comments throughout all of this, and we want to encourage you to continue that. We have a few more minutes together, and we really want to encourage to hear. We want to hear what you thought, what stuck out to you, what were the most important points to you. I also want to really thank you for connecting it to other teachings, whether it's Eckhart Tolle or something else. One of the things that we have come to understand is that there's a consistency across all of divine communication. Wherever it comes from, whoever it comes from, it is incredibly consistent. And the metaphor of light is one of those that exists everywhere, right? From the very first words of the Bible on. And so this is an important concept for us to kind of keep up with. But I want to hear what you found, what you have found to be most important about your light and or being a beacon of light. When's that hardest for you? When's that easier for you? What are some examples that you've had where you've been able to notice just letting your light shine has really made a difference in a situation? My guess is you've had one even today.
Yeah, quite possibly. Well, we're so grateful that we've had this opportunity to be with you today. We appreciate all of your comments. For those of you that are not able to join us live but watching the replay, a big shout out to you as well. We appreciate all of your thoughts and your love and your care and everything that you bring to the table with us. And I wanted to let you know that we do this every Thursday. We'll be going through an episode of our TV show, The Infinite Pathway. I think up next, we've got episode 5, The Possibilities Are Endless, Realizing Our Power to Choose. And that is a part of, these 12 episodes that we've produced. They do run in successive order. You can watch them out of order, but they have a sort of a logicality to them. And, once you realize that you're made of light and you can, you are of the light, you can choose. You can choose to be of the light and bring that forward in all of your actions and decisions and see how, life and circumstance actually changes for you. I know Claudia says that being quiet helps all the time, and who knew?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you just got to take a breath, and that's why we do that in our episodes. Just take a breath, because if you're constantly transmitting, it's very difficult to transmit and receive at the same time. And so sometimes you just need to shut up.
Well, it's interesting how often the guides talk about receiving. Right, because I think we live in a world where we're constantly thinking, what am I giving? What am I offering? When the guides make the point about being a beacon of light, they're sort of saying, this is what you are, that there isn't an action that you have to do. You don't have to go around and saying, how can I be incredibly positive to someone today? Just let your light shine. Just be who you are. But to do that sometimes means to take in. Yes. And to receive, because again, we can run, it was interesting, the guides talked about when your light dims, and the light dims because sometimes we're so busy that we don't recharge. there's a reason why the metaphor source is used so often and why the guides use it as often, because they really do mean source. They mean source of light, and all light has a source. And when we plug into that source, I hope you caught one of the things that the guide said, because it's one of my favorite things, and it's really helped me in my life quite a bit, because they say your light is a reflection of source's light. And so it's really helpful to just spend time focusing on source's light and feel it beam you up. Feel it really recharge your own light, because that's where your light comes from. And isn't it good news that it isn't something I have to manufacture myself, but it's something that is just there for me. All I have to do is jump in and let it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Source agrees with us, because we're seeing all kinds of funny shifts of our color on the screen. I don't know if you're seeing that. We're seeing that. But sometimes I just think, oh, that's the guy just going, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, speaking of new light, we have a very special announcement to make. We have officially relaunched our website, and we're very happy to bring it to you today and to show you a little bit about it and to show you around. At the very top, you'll find the homepage there, a new community that we're offering, the opportunity to book private sessions. You can see our events, some new channel courses that we'll be releasing soon, a little bit about Tom and myself for those and the guides and our team actually that help support us here at Speaking from Source. Shout out to Tina McDonald there, our online moderator, and some videos and such. But what's different is that you'll be able to log in and create your own profile here. And once you do, a whole world of opportunities await you. Absolutely. So you can see here, we've got our new Circle of Light community, our channeling events, channel courses, but also our new Circle of Light membership, which we're launching as well, and the opportunity to become a foundation member as well. So lots for you to explore it, as well as our Wisdom Wednesdays. If you haven't subscribed to our Wisdom Wednesdays, now would be a really good time to do so.
It's free.
It's absolutely free, and you get absolutely amazing inspirational messages delivered to your email each week, which is just a whole lot of fun.
But what we really want to announce to you is that we have also relaunched something that we've been calling Conversations with Source, and we've renamed it as Live with the Guides. I think it's a little bit more relatable to you all. So there you can see Live with the Guides, and we're restarting Live with the Guides this next month, February 9th. We do the second Sunday of every month, and we do that in the afternoon. I know everybody's at a different time zone. So it's 1 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain and on. And so it's just an hour to spend with the guides, and allows you to hear a channeled message from the guides. But more importantly, the guides stick around and answer your questions. They like to have conversation with you all. And so that happens. It is normally a $33 event. And so you buy a ticket for $33 with the new website. You'll be able to register just once, have everything stored in, and just get your ticket. However, for the February 9th, we are opening it up to everyone and encouraging everyone to come on, because it's free. We're just going to let everybody come on and help us celebrate the relaunch of this. And AJ is going to show you how you do that and how you take advantage of getting that free channeling on February 9th.
Absolutely. So you've got our website there, speakingfromsource.com, and here is your exclusive coupon for that event, Welcome 100. So that's 100% off coupon for you to enjoy there. You'll go over to our website, speakingfromsource.com, that you can see at the top there. You'll go down the page and click on the events page. And once you're there, you can scroll down and you'll click on the purchase tab. That'll take you to a new checkout page, if you will, and that's where you can enter in your personal information, open up your free profile with us, and you can add in that coupon Welcome 100 to attend the February 9th event for absolutely free.
So what we want to also let you know is that one of the changes, we're delighted to have you come. Everybody come, take advantage of it. It's for you. We're just hoping everybody comes and gets the most of that. And yes, share that code. Share that code.
Yes, you can share that code.
You better believe you can share that code. But you know, what I want to make a point of is that one of the differences with this new website is that when you first come on and purchase something, you're going to register with the site. You can see up in the corner, we're actually logged in our registry. You'll see when you log in, once you've gone through registry, it'll set up for you. It's like everything else you've probably ever done where you have to kind of join. But all that means is that you give your phone number, your email
address,
and your name, and then it sets you up. You can load and keep if you want payment things. You don't have to do that. You can pay whenever you wish, but everything's right there for you. And then every time you log in to our website, you'll see your stuff. And you can see, as AJ's shown you, that it gets you to your library, and you can adjust settings, and you can even log in and out if you want.
And so here in your library page is where you'll see your purchased events. And you can see there is the Live with the Guides event. And on February 9th, you can click on that to view the product. And there you'll see the details about it. And that's where the video is going to be occurring for our session. And you can see the agenda there and the date, February 9th at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So that's where you'll go to watch the event. So you don't need to have Zoom or, any of these other things. You can just be on our website and watch it directly from there for absolutely free. So
this time.
For this time, absolutely.
We're really delighted to relaunch with you, and we'd love to have as many of you come as watch the guides live. If you've never seen this channel, it's a lot of fun. And of course, as you know, just like the light, the energy works just as effectively over the airwaves as it does in person. In fact, sometimes I think it works better. I'm always amazed at how many people, when we get to questions after the guides have given a general message, say, "Oh, you already answered it."
Yeah.
Let's ask some more.
And you know what's amazing too is even if you just sit passively, the energy that comes across is amazing. And at the end, they always love to do the hug, which is that transmission of energy, unconditional love from source consciousness itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is definitely something they love to do. So we hope you'll join us. We hope you'll check out the new website. We hope you'll register on the new website because it'll give you, again, an easier way ultimately to stay connected with us. And the good news, again, is everything happens through the website. Now, when you do register and when you do purchase, you're also going to get a reminder email that'll come into you to remind you right before the event. Everything sort of is done, so no more of these scattered emails from Tom.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That's the way we've been doing it up till now.
Yep.
We're maturing.
I know. How about that? Well, we're so grateful for you. Of course, up next week, we'll be doing our next episode, episode 5. The possibilities are endless, and indeed they are. And, we look forward to you joining every Thursday. Please look out for the coming soon link that we're going to be posting on YouTube. Big shout out to our Soul Search community that are always a phenomenal part of the Speaking from Source clan as well. So we're so grateful to have everyone with us.
Thank you for being on. We love spending this time with you. As always, we'd love to communicate with you. You know how to reach us. And again, go to the website. You'll be able to connect with us at any time. We just love spending time with you. So thank you for sharing this hour with us.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.